I am still cripplingly injured. I've been told I'm not allowed to go and train because my ankle is a little bit tweaked. So this week we're doing something a little bit different. I've got the ultimate parkour content creator tier list, and here we're going to be going through, in my opinion, what the ultimate parkour content creator tier list is. This is just my opinion on these creators. We are going to be looking solely at parkour content, so if they've done anything else on the channel, we're kind of going to push that aside. We're just going to focus specifically on the parkour content side of things. So with that being said, we're going to jump into number one. So I'm not going to go chronologically in the list, simply because starting with Stora is just not the best thing to do. I should mention before we get started in this, we do have 5 categories. We've got Dinger, which is top tier, does a lot for the community, makes really, really sick videos that I watch all the time. Tech is, it's there, but it could have something a little bit more. Meh, it counts, it's kind of like, yeah, it's content, I'll still watch it. Ankle Thing is, yeah, it's good, but it's not outrageous. And then Bend Your Knees is content that I just find cringe and I'm not really the target audience for, so I won't watch. Start with Fifth Unit. Now, Fifth Unit are my friends. Not going to talk bad about them, obviously. Fifth Unit aren't that consistent, unfortunately, which does suck, and they have made some incredible videos before. Recently though, they've really upped their content. They did the Shot Collar Parkour Challenge, and they also did the One Bang One Day video where Chris and the team fly to Eindhoven and Chris does the dive Kong. If they kept up that sort of content and that content was still something that they could push out regularly, then they'd definitely be up in Dinger, because that content is so refreshing to watch. I'm going to put him in Tech, only because I love the concepts that they have, but I just wish they were a bit more consistent with the content that they were making. If they got it consistent, defo up in Dinger for sure, because the content is so refreshing to see. Next we've got Nick Parkour Pro. Now, Nick Pro, he bangs views. He does bang views, to be fair. But do I enjoy watching his content? And the answer to that is probably no, because I'm not the target audience for his content. He does a lot of the kind of TikTok-y, clickbaity kind of YouTube where, you know, it's Spider-Man fights crime POV in real life. It's kind of the thing that appeals to the TikTok generation a little bit more, like stunts from Obi-Wan Kenobi, Parkour versus Normal People in Real Life Part 6, which has banged 8.9 million views. It does well on the shorts as well. I guess like exploring the concept of stunts from films is quite good. I just don't really like the way that he does it. So for that reason, I'm gonna put him in Bend Your Fucking Knees, only because it's not the content for me. He's a sick athlete, but I just can't really watch that content without sort of wanting to curl into a ball. Dom. So Dom, again, I met him the other week. Really nice guy. Dom is sound. I do have a couple of things to say in his content. Now, if Dom saved his clips and put everything together in a big long action edit, definitely in Dinger. Something like the Kong front at IMAX, where it's so monumentally huge, and it just went on Instagram. And now this is a personal preference of mine. I know he's an athlete, he's sponsored by Red Bull, he has to maintain a social presence. Yeah, I just wish he'd save his clips for a big edit. With that being said, he is incredibly consistent with his YouTube upload schedule, and the videos are good, and I do tend to sit down and watch them all now. For that reason, same as Fifth Unit, Dom is going to go in Tech, but he's going to go on the higher end of the Tech spectrum. So he's going to be like close to Dinger, but if he just like kept everything and made like a sick action edit, definitely up in Dinger. Next we've got Jesse LaFleur. So Jesse LaFleur is someone that claims that he is the Tony Hawk of parkour. I would say he's probably more Aaron Cairo.
My name is Aaron Cairo. I'm a professional skateboarder from the San Francisco Bay Area.
He hasn't uploaded in YouTube in like a year or so, really. He's just kind of uploading shorts at the moment. He did a lot of content back in the day, particularly with Tempest, but he hasn't uploaded in a year, and he mostly just uploaded like tutorials and stuff. So I'm going to put him in Ankle Thing, because his content wasn't bad. He was appealing to the starters within parkour, which I think is really good, but again, that's not the content that I watch. So, and again, Tempest as well. Tempest have started doing like vlogs and things like that, and I'm just going to check their channel quickly, because Tempest are powerhouses, and I want to put them higher on the list simply because of their takeovers that they did a few years ago. Those were sick. Yeah, they do these like weekly vlogs, and they only get about 500 or so views, which for 138,000 subscribers isn't amazing. And I don't really watch the Tempest vlogs, to be honest. Like, I'm going to put Tempest above Jesse. I'm going to go in merit counts, but it's going to go on the lower end of merit counts because it's okay content. The takeovers, like I said, they've definitely, like, those were some of the best videos, especially in my early days of training. I can't really put them any higher than that, unfortunately. Breach. Now, Breach is a difficult one because Breach also does include the Daniel Willamaka videos from years ago. So if we were solely counting the Danny videos, definitely in Tech or Dinger. They did enter the Breach, which is a paid film. I'll put the link for it in the description. They're not consistent on YouTube as well, so that's a thing. And I'd feel bad putting them in merit counts because there's so much history in those videos. I think it's gonna have to go there simply because they've been so quiet. I don't know when Breach last uploaded, if it was I think the last thing they uploaded was their Enter the Breach London segment. So, and yeah, a couple of introducing Xavier vlogs. I assume they did one vlog and then kind of stopped, which sucks. So yeah, they're gonna have to go in the merit counts for now, but on the sort of the upper end of it. Sunday Super XXL. Now, I'm going to put them straight in Met, simply because their content is good and they're consistent. They're bringing weekly vlogs and each week's a different location and it's really, really exciting. And now looking at it, I feel like Met It Counts is kind of a bit disrespectful towards them because they are incredibly consistent. And it's entertaining. They have a community and they sort of bring the community together, and each week it's a different location, so you're never kind of seeing the same thing over and over. I'm only putting it in merit counts simply because, like, vlogs every week, and I'm going to put my hand up here and say that we are guilty of this, but vlog style content is, after a while, it's just repetitive to watch. And I'm actually going to move them up to high Met, but one below Breach because they're a backer. I'm going to put them in the middle there because, yes, they've got incredibly good and interesting content. Like, I actually they're some of the only vlogs that I watch all the way through, and it's just full of training from loads of different people. Get David Witchell behind that camera and just film a mammoth tonker of an edit over the course of like 4 weeks or something. Next, we're going to move on to Team Fat. Now, I'm going to hold my hand up here and say that I don't watch all of Fat's content. I don't find it disinteresting, but a lot of it has been the sort of like the visiting where Stora have gone, and that's not a bad thing. Like the 6-month journey of World Chase Tag and Arthur's full disclosure video definitely are up there. Like, when Team Fat released like an action edit, it's so good. Videos like, okay, flipping the LA River, it's a one-up of what Stora did. But the things like the Basel River diving, like parkour water challenges and stuff, like, I enjoy it and it's good content, but sometimes I just want to see something a little bit fresh. And like I said, I know I can hold my hands up here and we're guilty of it as well. And I know this is incredibly hypocritical for me to say, but I know they're kind of playing the algorithm game with it a little bit. But like I said, things like Arthur's full disclosure video definitely bump them up, so I am going to put them up in Tech, I think. They could be in Dinger. I reckon 1 or 2 more like action edits that really cement them will put them up in that Dinger category. A controversial one, Mr. Timothy Sheaf. Now, the reason I'm putting Tim in Dinger is because I used to watch Tim's videos all the time when I first started training. This is kind of when he was working on Flow, so he did loads of documentaries traveling to different countries and locations for Flow. Not only that, Tim's showreels were really stand out and they still hold the test of time today. And despite the kind of path that he went down with the vegan activist and health guru drinking his own urine, there's no denying that Tim's videos shaped a lot of what the parkour sort of space is now. So that's why I'm going to put Tim in Dinger. Whilst we're at it as well, I'm also going to put Stora up in Dinger as well. Now, obviously, there was no contest there. Stora are obviously going in Dinger. They've done so much for the community. You know, over the last sort of 5 years, they've maintained an almost weekly schedule. They now post twice a week as well if you're a community member. So you're getting loads of Stora content. They kill it with the clothing, and they have a good blend of interesting vlogs traveling to locations, but also putting in the action edits like the Thames Me video. It was so sick. And I feel like it's just an insult at this point if you were to put Stora any lower than Dinger. I'm sure we can all agree that their impact on the sport has been huge. Now, Jimmy the Giant, like I said, we're going to be talking solely on parkour content alone. And if I was to like combine all of Jimmy the Giant's content together, he'd be straight up in Dinger, because he's one of the only YouTubers that I actually get excited for when they upload, because I know I'm going to learn something. And I think that's the crucially important thing here, is like he's teaching us something, whether educational or the history of something. Like he's putting like the time and effort into his videos, and he cares for the content. But if we're talking solely on a parkour basis, I'm tempted either Dinger or Tech. But I'd be low Dinger or high Tech, because the Urban Free Flow video that originally like blew him up was brilliant, and that was so good. And then the subsequent videos on like Tim and the Flow Show and the MTV's Parkour Challenge have been really good. But I think he shines better in other fields. So I'm going to put him on high tech, and I am going to put him above Dom. I know that's a controversial one because Dom is consistent with the parkour uploads. But Kieran, aka Jimmy, I just love his content so much. Like, it's so good. Nitro Parkour, now it's going to be similar to Nick Pro, and it's going to go into Bend Your Knees, simply because if they're the guys that I think they are, it's going to be the Mario and Luigi parkour videos, which, again, I'm not that TikTok audience age, so I don't find these videos very interesting. I mean, they bang views, you know, like 6.7 million views, and that's short. But it's just overload. Like, it's something like new and gimmicky. They basically jump on the trend of whatever film for kids is coming out, which I understand, and that's good for them, but it's not for me. So MattPK, now I can't actually remember the name of his channel properly, but it's the PK guy with glasses that did that sofa bail a few years ago. I'm going to put him in Ankle Thing because he doesn't upload much onto YouTube in terms of like long form video. He's uploading shorts, and you know, we've been uploading shorts recently. You've got to play the game and that sort of thing, but there's no like late for school POV with my girlfriend. Again, it's that clickbaity kind of all playing into the TikTok audience, and for that reason I'm going to put him in Ankle Thing, although his short videos are very good. I'm going to put him on high Ankle Thing. Oh, but I can't put him above Jesse though. Yeah, he's going to stay in Ankle Thing. BaileyPayne. Now again, BaileyPayne is a tricker. He's done parkour for a little bit, about 18 months or so, and he's incredibly good for the amount of time that he's been doing it. With that being said, I don't watch all of his content, but I have started watching some of it, and some of it is good, but some of it is very clout housey, kind of playing the algorithmic game. That appeals, again, I'm going to say it, to that TikTok audience, and I don't think he quite deserves to be in Bend Your Knees, but he is going to go into Ankle Thing simply because it is that sort of content. Like, I will watch his stuff, but I don't get the same satisfaction from it that I do with any of these others, for example. So Team Farang are going to go up in... they're going to go Dinger. Team Farang, again, are a bit like Stora. They've done a lot for the sport. They don't upload as frequently, but they do upload some incredible bangers. There is one video for me that really stands out, which has kind of cemented them in this spot, and that is the Passion the Boss video from a few years ago. For me, when this first dropped, it was amazing, and I feel like this has always stood out to me as one of Team Farang's greatest and best, for sure. So that's what's going to cement them into the sort of Dinger category. Virkey, I'm going to put Virkey in Tech because Virkey does upload consistently, and what's really kind of stood out to me is, despite being injured, he's still uploading content, and which is what's kind of inspired me to do this sort of video here whilst being injured at the moment. So yeah, Virkey is going to go in Tech. He tells the story like behind the scenes, like the capstone videos and stuff like that, which is really interesting to watch, and he's actually getting really good at kind of documenting his process. So I'm going to stick him in Tech. Again, I want Virkey to do a solo banger video. If Virkey can do a solo banger video, then he's going to be up there like in Dinger for sure, because I know he's going to throw down hard. Free running Chaplin, and I guess Max Ward can go with that as well, so I'll do those two at the same time. I'm going to put Chaplin in Dinger, and that's because their content is fresh and new. It's a bit jackassy, so if you like Jackass, you'll like free running Chaplin's videos. Chaplin's tour videos each year are just phenomenal. Max Ward is the mastermind behind those. Max's personal channel, I feel like if you really committed and really dedicated to making more content on there, which is why I think we need to pay parkour filmmakers, Max would definitely be up in Dinger as well. But I feel like he's the mastermind behind the Chaplin videos that get Chaplin up and Dinger. So yeah, okay, I'm going to put Max up there as well for his documentary. He did a documentary on Dom, which was incredibly good and interesting to watch, and he is the mastermind behind the Chaplin videos as well, or behind the Chaplin tour videos. So Max is going to go up in Dinger along with free running Chaplin. It is just incredibly refreshing to see content like that. Ampy Sound. Now Ampy Sound again is another one that's been around for years. They do a lot of commercial work, so a lot of their stuff is like POV for like zombie games or the Daredevil series that was on Netflix, so it's not really my thing when it's constantly like that. But then they've done bangers like On Ascent 2 and Return of the Joy. For that, it's going to be a strong tech. I would put them above, yeah, probably above Kieran. Yeah, Ampy Sound, just if they are a bit more consistent with making more bangers, then they'll be up in Dinger. But for me, they're going to go and high tech. They're very nearly there though. So Katie McDonald. Now I'm not Katie's target audience. I'm not a sort of young female athlete. Her content is definitely kind of more sort of, I guess, targeted towards those sorts of people. She's very good at being a strong representative figure for young girls in the community who are just starting out, and you know, she is a prime example of why they can make it. With that being said, she does a lot of like lifestyle vlog stuff at the moment, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. There is a bit of a lack of parkour content, so for me it's going to be ankle thing, but I'm fully aware that I'm putting her there whilst not being her target audience. So Hazel. Now Hazel was uploading weekly and she's kind of stopped. She stopped that about 2 months ago, which sucked because I was really enjoying her content. So that's dipped a little bit, but she does also do projects like New Roots where she saves all of her clips and puts out a banger of an edit, and it's not even like cinematically a masterpiece, it's just raw and it's great seeing that sort of content. So I'm going to put her in Meta counts, but only because I want to see her uploading more and I would like her to get back onto that weekly YouTube schedule of being consistent. That would be amazing just to see that, because I really respect Hazel as an athlete and I really love watching her content. But also, a bit like Katie, she's a great representation for women in the sport, showing that they can make it, and I just think that sort of stuff is really cool. So I'd like to see Hazel making more weekly content. Ed Scott, I'm going to put in Met counts. Ed is consistent and he is uploading almost weekly, but I find it really difficult to get into Ed's content. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the actual like sustenance of the vlog, or I don't know. I just can't get into it, and I do try my best to watch them, but sometimes I just lose interest and I'll kind of flick between tabs a little bit. But Ed is an incredibly sick athlete, and when he is in the big team videos for people, he does kill it. But on his own personal channel, I really can't get into his vlogs, unfortunately. So Ed goes in the merit counts. He does go above Tempest. Also going in merit counts is GEP. They're going to go below Tempest. GEP back in the day definitely were a dinger / tech sort of area, but they haven't uploaded in 4 years, and the last time I saw GEP was at For the Love of Movement 2018. So unfortunately I can't put them any higher than merit counts, and the others sort of in front of it have just, to me, had a bit more of a lasting impact in terms of content that I've watched. So I wish they would just come back and upload a banger, because that would be brilliant, just seeing them come back one last time to completely kill it. Last two, James Kingston. In terms of crane climbing content, like, I watch that all the time, and I only watch his ones for some reason. I really like James's personality on the camera. So if we were talking about the crane climbing stuff, definitely dinger and tech. But we're talking about the parkour stuff, and he has re-released a load of stuff over the last sort of year or so. But I'm gonna go ankle thing, but top ankle thing, because I really used to enjoy watching James's content, parkour or crane climbing. Unfortunately now he's kind of moved away from the parkour scene a little bit, so now everything that he uploads is kind of like the old stuff that he's kind of remastered, and I've got a lot of respect for James. I actually speak to him in Discord quite a lot, and I've been a big fan of his for years, ever since the 2014 Don't Look Down documentary came out. That's when my interest for him really peaked. But yeah, in terms of parkour content, he is going to have to go in top ankle thing. So lastly, we have the Motus projects. Now, I love Motus. I would sing the praises for that brand all the time, and there is no denying that they've made incredible videos like Resurgence, which have definitely left their mark on the community. I wish they were more consistent with their YouTube schedule. The last sort of, I think it's like 6 out of their last 12 uploads have been podcasts, so there's not much training content coming from them at the moment. But they will have to go and dinger simply because of Resurgence, because that just lit a fire under everyone's belly to get the London movement back. And there's no denying that that is a quality piece of film. And they do projects like Soul and Soul Destroyer and all those sorts of things, and those are paid for projects, and there needs to be more of that within the community, which is why I think if you get something like Soul, which combines the paid for aspects of parkour film, and combine that with someone like Max Ward, we can then start getting the industry moving forward there. So yeah, Motus go in dinger. I would put them below Team Farang, but above Chaplin and Max Ward, simply because Motus have done a little bit more. But give it a few years and I reckon Chaplin and Max would definitely be up there. So that is the parkour content creation tier list. This is my personal opinion. Feel free to have a debate with me down in the comments below. Keep it friendly though. If you do want to try this out for yourself, I will post a link to this parkour tier list in the description. Share me your tier list, see what you think if you want to add anyone in. There's definitely people that I've missed there. Remember, you can purchase some clothing from our website contendunt.shop, and you can follow us on Instagram at contendunt_. Also, this video here is what YouTube thinks is best for you next, so why don't you go and check it out.